some important things for Tai Chi, learning Tai Chi, is patience with your teachers, patient with yourself.
What is very important is a posture. So we're not like stiff like a soldier marching along, you know, but we are not exactly like a rag doll either, but we're somewhere in between. So while I describe how you should be in a Tai Chi posture, try to apply it in your own body, okay? So the first thing that we're going to do is make sure that each feet or each foot is evenly weighted, 50-50, okay? More or less 50-50. So that will enable us to drop our shoulders so that our middle finger is to the side seam of our pants. So there, we're a little relaxed. We're not like a soldier. For the details to fill in, we have to make sure that our chest is not straight as a board, but taking a sunken curvature of our chest. So with that dropping of the middle finger and the shoulder, our chest should be relaxed and a little sunken. But if you stiffen it up, sink it down, stiffen it up, sink it down, you get what I mean. But notice what the butt does. Stiffen up, drop down. The butt should naturally tuck under rather than protrude or stay stiff. So drop those shoulders, stiffen it up, drop it down. So naturally you have so many elements already employed. You drop your shoulders, your middle finger's at the side seam of your pants, your chest is concave, your butt is tucked under. What about our legs and what about our knees? If we're a soldier, we have them stiff, right? But in Tai Chi, we have them relaxed, we have them flexible, but not bent. Not bent because we have not generated any energy. We're in a still position, so they should not be locked, but they should be relaxed. So that's one other thing that you should do right now. The head is straight up. It is held by a silk silver thread or a cable from the middle of your skull through the middle points of your body. All these points are danten points. They're called danten. Through the skull, through the chest, 2 inches below your navel is the most important. That's your center of gravity, okay? So whenever we do Tai Chi, even if we part the wild horse's mane, our posture should never follow our hand. Our posture should always remain with that silk silver thread holding me erect. If we adhere to that thread and that cable, perhaps when we feel that we are going to fall, we will straighten ourselves up, obey gravity, and be in a safer position, okay? The tongue is on your palate, not pushing against your teeth, but softly on your palate, okay? Did I miss anything else? I think that's about it. Our mind now, our mind is active, it's alert, and it's thinking of good thoughts, positive thoughts, because Tai Chi is uplifting. We want to bring our spirits up. Okay, so that's something that you should conjure up an image or an experience that's a plus, okay? Where should our eyes be? Okay, so going back to our face. We shouldn't be smiling just because we are thinking something great, okay? But we should have a neutral face, not sad, not super happy, but just there. Your presence is there. The eyes look out into infinity. They do not follow our feet. They do not look up to the sky. They do not look at one particular person, but they look beyond, okay? Out into infinity, so that everybody, the whole world, or you can see the whole world. And you're serene, okay? Very peaceful, okay? All right. Anything that I missed? And one is being a golden cockerel. You saw that in the 10 form, we had to balance and stand on one foot. And we had to then change that position and come up. And you did see me faltering, okay? And that's part of Tai Chi. Learning about yourself, understanding what's happening and how you can counter those things that go a little bit goofy, okay? So in Tai Chi, what is very important is a posture. So we're not like stiff like a soldier marching along, you know, but we are not exactly like a rag doll either, but we're somewhere in between. So while I describe how you should be in a Tai Chi posture, try to apply it in your own body, okay? So the first thing that we're going to do is make sure that each feet or each foot is evenly weighted, 50-50, okay, more or less 50-50. So that will enable us to drop our shoulders so that our middle finger is to the side seam of our pants. So there we're a little relaxed. We're not like a soldier. For the details to fill in, we have to make sure that our chest is not straight as a board, but taking a sunken curvature of our chest. So with that dropping of the middle finger and the shoulder, our chest should be relaxed and a little sunken. But if you stiffen it up, sink it down, stiffen it up, sink it down, you get what I mean. But notice what the butt does. Stiffen up, drop down. The butt should naturally tuck under rather than protrude or stay stiff. So drop those shoulders, stiffen it up, drop it down. So naturally you have so many elements already employed. You drop your shoulders, your middle finger's at the side seam of your pants, your chest is concave, your butt is tucked under. What about our legs and what about our knees? If we're a soldier, we have them stiff, right? But in Tai Chi, we have them relaxed, we have them flexible, but not bent. Not bent because we have not generated any energy. We're in a still position. So they should not be locked, but they should be relaxed. So that's one other thing that you should do right now. The head is straight up. It is held by a silk silver thread or a cable from the middle of your skull through the middle points of your body. All these points are danten points. They're called danten. Through the skull, through the chest, 2 inches below your navel is the most important. That's your center of gravity, okay? So whenever we do Tai Chi, even if we part the wild horse's mane, our posture should never follow our hand. Our posture should always remain with that silk silver thread holding me erect. If we adhere to that thread and that cable, perhaps when we feel that we are going to fall, we will straighten ourselves up, obey gravity, and be in a safer position, okay? The tongue is on your palate, not pushing against your teeth, but softly on your palate, okay? Did I miss anything else? I think that's about it. Our mind now, our mind is active, it's alert, and it's thinking of good thoughts, positive thoughts, because Tai Chi is uplifting. We want to bring our spirits up. Okay, so that's something that you should conjure up an image or an experience that's a plus, okay? Where should our eyes be? Okay, so going back to our face, we shouldn't be smiling just because we are thinking something great, okay? But we should have a neutral face, not sad, not super happy, but just there. Your presence is there. The eyes look out into infinity. They do not follow our feet. They do not look up to the sky. They do not look at one particular person, but they look beyond, okay? Out into infinity, so that everybody, the whole world, or you can see the whole world. And you're serene, okay? Very peaceful, okay? All right. Anything that I miss? Okay. We have our Tai Chi posture, and we want to be a golden cockerel, okay? I'm kind of advancing on because you'll hear me almost like a broken record reminding you of this and that, okay? So we're going to learn how to stand on one foot to be a golden cockerel. We said to have good Tai Chi posture, we're at 50-50. This time I'm going to move you out a little bit so that you have a better span in your feet, okay? Maybe a little bit more for me. To be a golden cockerel, we're going to first stand on our left foot. And I guess you could try doing it, okay? You could try doing it. And see the basis on which we will learn to be a better golden cockerel. And at the same time, maybe take note of what my hands and my feet are doing. Okay, and then you're going to rest now, okay? You're going to let me talk and let me explain. To be a good golden cockerel, you're going to have to use everything about your body to keep a better balance. If you're at 50-50, you're going to have to shift and hold all your body weight and alternate, okay? And you can sort of shift back and shift back, okay? But you know there's something missing. The feet are not completely finished and the hands are just not doing anything. And the mind may be a little short yet. You want to follow everything through. So mind is very active. So there are many ways of teaching you this, and bear with me, okay? So when we shift our weight, we're trying to bring the weightless foot, which is the right foot, towards the center of our body. So let's see what that means. Try it out, experiment, and listen to what I say. Shift your weight and bring that weightless foot closer to the center of your body. Okay? All right, and then you're going to stop, okay? So this is not what I'm asking you, okay? I'm not asking you to shift your weight and keep that weightless foot to the side of your body. I'm not asking you to lift that weightless foot and put it to the side of your body. I'm asking you to bring it in closer and bring it to the center of your body. Bring it to the center of your body, okay? Now you say, okay, that's easy enough. So what are we trying to do? We're trying to consolidate our energy and our weight so that the center has what we need. How do we do that? Do we just swing that leg here and swing that leg there? We do much more than that. We use our hips and waists. Can you use your hips and waists like I'm doing? Use your hips and waists. We are still on the danten. Put your finger up, your pointing finger up. And this is what you're doing. You're swiveling on that cable, that imaginary cable. And we have the best rotation. We have the best obeying of gravity because we're able to do that. All right, put your hand down now. Can you see that a lot of times we do not use our waist? We need to make sure that waist is flexible. All right. So that's what we're going to try. That's really one of the goals. That's the hardest thing to try to make individuals do, is to flex with the hips and waists, okay? In Tai Chi, it looks easy because it's done so peacefully and continuously, but people who perform know what it means to be safe. They counterbalance. They use a counterbalance. So if one foot needs to hold the weight, the other, the hands in coordination, help you to stay balanced. How does it do that? The hand that comes forward also centers your body. It also centers the body. It does not stay to the side. It follows the foot that comes up towards the center. But that's not all. The other hand helps it as a counterbalance. Watch. It sits to the side and pushes down while the front hand pushes up. It pushes down as the other one comes up. Up and down. Shift and up and down. All right, now you're going to watch, okay? Last one. So, yeah, you say, well, I follow teacher. I think I got it. Okay, watch another small element. I said shift your weight. I said center leg and hand. I said push down. I said all of that, and I'm doing that. Hey, it's working. Yeah? But there's something wrong. I look like I'm not doing Tai Chi, but I'm doing some kind of calisthenics. What is it that softens and still keeps me safe? It's the spirals. It's the spirals. It's the spirals. What are spirals? Spirals are like a circle, continuously and growing. It could be a circle, it could be a semicircle. So how you position your hands, are important. Yes? So how do we put spirals in? Okay, everybody's going to watch. In this particular case, the spirals occur like this. Both hands have spirals, or counterbalancing hand, as well as the forward hand. They are spiraling down and spiraling up. Spiraling down and spiraling up. Okay, let's try that, okay? Good Tai Chi posture, dropping the shoulders, middle finger to the side seam, tucking your butt because your chest is concave. Actually, I forgot one. Chin slightly down rather than parallel to the ground. Head straight up, glance way ahead, mind very active, thinking positive, okay? We're gonna be a golden cockle by shifting weight to the left. You can open up your span, okay, so I think I started you out with not a bigger span. And you notice there's simultaneous motions. Your hand goes up, your feet goes up, right? Your feet doesn't go up early, the hand doesn't go up early, they go together. And you're trying to get your spirals, and in this situation now, some of you may go a little slower, which is fine, but I'm just showing you don't have to really pattern your timing with me. The hand that goes down, you don't need to exaggerate it, but know that it's furnishing you some safety because it's countering the up hand. The hand that goes up, the hand that goes down, work together. Okay, last one. Okay, so that's an ongoing piece of movement because it is golden cockle, it is a movement. We incorporate it into our warm-ups because we feel that, yes, you want the stamina, yes, you want the strength, and yes, you want the beauty, you want the flexibility, so we work at it every time we do Tai Chi, every time we do a lesson, okay? One more movement now, okay? We're going to kick out with our right and kick out with our left. This time you notice that my span is a little bigger, okay? So we're still at 50-50 and we're still in good Tai Chi posture, but we want to be able to gather the energy, center the energy, right hand on the outside, and we want to be able to kick out with our right. We want to change and shift our weight, left hand on the outside, left foot coming up, kicking out in line, okay? So here again, you can try it and listen and follow. Shift your weight, center. If your left hand comes up, if your left foot comes up, your left hand is on the outside of the cross. The right foot wants to come up, The right hand is on the outside of the cross, and you follow your kick. You center yourself, you spin on your axle, and you kick out. The other hand counters you because it's going in the opposite direction. It's helping you to gain stability. We're not looking for a high kick, we're looking for a safe kick. We are still doing spirals and circles. And what about our eye? Our vision is still outward, way out, not looking at any particular part of our body. All right. That's pretty good, okay? Maybe you'll feel some ache and you'll say, hey, at least I, woken up my muscles and I'm kind of activating things that went to sleep for a long time. Also now, you'll hear when we did the 10 form, you heard some of my keywords that I will use all the time. So, just to kind of summarize and end class in a couple of minutes, the foot that takes all the weight and bears all the weight, whether it's a kick out or a golden cockerel, is called the rooted. Rooted because it's rooted to the ground. It bears all my body weight. It's planted. It's obeying gravity. That's the guy that's keeping us safe. It's called the substantial foot. Substantial. So the foot that bears the weight is the one that's planted, the one that's rooted. The other foot now is called the weightless foot or the insubstantial. That's the foot that can move. 2 feet cannot move together. Think about what I just said. When 2 feet move, you stumble. One has to be weighted and rooted to allow that foot to advance. Right? Root down, take another step. Root down, take another step. Substantial, insubstantial. But once we are unclear, we're apt to trip, okay? All right, lots of food for thought, lots of good things going on. It is a discipline, so to teach it and enjoy Tai Chi, we need to lay the foundations that will help us to learn Tai Chi correctly, okay? It's a 15-week course, and we have really lots of time for everything. Real fast, because we've got to let them out. I realize this is 5:2.
Probably one real important concept to get, regardless of what the arms and legs are doing. When you go from substantial to insubstantial and back to substantial, substantial is trying to get you in a position which is your body is in proper alignment with the pull of gravity, so you're exerting a minimum amount of effort to maintain that stable position. You get to that stable position, then you move. Get to the next stable position, then you move. And all of these different body directions, etc., are trying to get you to learn, how do I put my body into the most easiest way to stay upright without falling down in terms of energy, and this provides safety.
Standing on a T stance, anyway, we're going to ward off. In a stable position. What happens? Sure, you can use your body. Use it to its fullest. But short of using our feet. Remember what I said and try to implement what I said. One more last warding off and we'll do the other side. So what is my purpose in doing all of this? The other side. T-stands, ward off. Grasp the bird's tail. What are we doing? We're trying the best we can to do Tai Chi. We're using our hips and waist. We're using our mind. We're using our weight and trying to shift. But we are being bogged down because we don't have the legs and the feet to help us. But can you see that without our legs and feet, we can swivel on our hips? Show me how you swivel on your hips. Show me that your hips and waist are warmed up. Show me also how you can shift your weight even though it's on 2 feet. You can flex and go to the back foot. You can push down on the back foot as you advance forward. All right? Let's do some more. I think this is fun. Are you following me? Are you following me? It doesn't matter what you're doing and whether your movement is incorrect, but we are trying to remind ourselves and push the point to reinforce that we need our hips and waist. We can't do anything. It's a strain. It's not Tai Chi. All right? Let's continue. Feet apart, we're doing cloud hands. In the most peaceful way you can. Slower is harder, more difficult. So you might want to say, I can really go slowly and do slow motion and learn about what you're doing and how you're doing it. But as we do our cloud hands, we say, yes, we've got our circles and our spirals. We've got our mittens on. Our mind is really relaxed. We're synchronized. We're definitely, hopefully, using our hips and waists, because those are the things that are making our clouds billowy and floating. What about our shoulders? Do they have to be raised? Can we now drop our shoulders? Drop it, drop it, drop it, even though we're changing our hand position. So there again, if you followed me and I followed myself, I got a better sense of relaxation. I dropped my shoulders. I use my core. I use my hips and waists. I use my vision. I use my mind. So that if I stood here and continued, you would be in a zone where you wouldn't even want to listen to me. I wouldn't even want to listen to a golden cockerel, getting in our spirals, getting in our hips and waists. So first, 50-50, transfer, shift, spiral, and rotate on that spindle. Use our hips and waist, okay? We're going to turn this way. Let's do it slowly because we know it's more difficult. Golden cockerel on its left. So both hands have spirals, shifting of weight, rotating on our axle. Make sure that hand that sits to the side slightly pushes down, does not go to sleep, as if it were holding the top of a ball. Okay, one last set and then I want to talk. Okay, so I'm sure that you're trying your best and I will see that when I review the video. So in order to get better spirals in, the hand that centers and comes to the side should start a spiral higher up. It should center and sit to the side. It should, do it with me, left hand, center, spiral, sits to the side, down. Center, spiral higher, then go down. Other hand, center, spiral, down. Center, higher to spiral, down. One more. Center, to make that turn, down. All right, stop. So, what I'm trying to do is trying to refine your movement. The center hand does not just sweep down and come down. It does not center and sweep and come down. Gives you no lift or roundedness to your movement. It doesn't, it goes so fast that your body has to keep up with it. Whereas if you start, you have that time to move. Whereas it becomes a hand motion. That's not Tai Chi, all right? So what is Tai Chi? Stand there. You don't have to do it on the same side as me, but we're doing golden cockerel, maybe 3 sets, okay? Start that spiral higher. Okay, so yes, you know that you can improve. Yes, you know that it might be a better way of starting our new year, yeah? Okay, so I want to give you a million things to think about and throughout our session so that you can kick it up a notch and do a better job. Get out of that easy old mold, okay? Something that you're comfortable. Jump out of that box. Do something different, but better for yourselves. All right, let's look at something else. Let's look at our kick out now. We gather our energy, we shift our weight, we center, tucking the elbows in. We come up at the same time we bring up our hands, we follow. We gather energy, we're up straight, obeying that cable, bringing up the arms so that it's not this way. The elbows are in as much as you can, centered. Follow. Watch again. Bringing in those elbows, coming up at the same time, following it out. Following it out. Do not follow it like this. Do not follow it like, do not drop. Do not come up. Do not drop and then go out. Okay? Can we, any questions? do not forget what our premise in all our lessons, but particularly focused this morning, is that we're spiraling. Where's that finger? Spiraling. Where's that finger? Spiraling. Do not keep it straight, okay? Where's your finger? Where's your spiral? We're spiraling. We're spiraling. That's your hips and waist, okay? If you want that foot, you say, hi, I'm an old timer, but I can still be young, and you want that foot to come up, don't forget the leverage of coming higher on the front hand, pushing down lower, right? We take it sometimes for granted. I didn't want to do that one because I was undoing my lesson. I started coming down this way, but you want to start to spiral. So you have more leverage and time to come up and come down at the same time, okay? 10 kickouts. If I'm goofy, don't worry, just do your own, okay? Opening up your span, begin. That's it. So what did we learn? We learned that when we're at 50-50 in good Tai Chi posture and we shift your weight, our spirals are already happening. Even at this point, we also learned that we need to tuck in our elbows and we need to come out on a spiral. Drop that wings down on a spiral. Keep everything rounded. Gather, but at the same time you're gathering now, you don't want to come down like this. This is exaggerated, but you want to keep your post. You want to keep the Danten point, but you want to be able to shift and spin on that axle, okay? And yes, I am definitely dragging on my foot, but you know that I should not, and I should come up together, okay? I am not sitting back in the proper way. I need to sit back till the back foot aches. Why? Is it just for show? It's no. You are storing that energy to allow something to happen. If you're only partly sitting back and partly storing, you are not insubstantial enough to then advance, okay? That's downgrading our standard and downgrading the discipline that we want to achieve to build stamina, strength, and better balance. So on a T-stance, out and to the side, remember now, this guy just does not come this way, but along that, we need to bow our legs. When we bow our knees, things open up. When we bow our legs, okay, this is my substantial. I want to open over the hill and down. Again, this is my insubstantial. I have all my energy, my chi on my back foot. That's a sit back, sit down. Not this way, because I have at least 40% of my weight here. I want to sit back, sit down. I want to bow that knee, bow the knee, open the knee to make it even heavier so that I can generate that heavy energy to come up and around and then down. Round your crotch. Okay, round out your crotch. Make that circle so that when you sit back, sit down, you have that roundedness about you, giving your energy a lot more to the back where it should be. Why? Because then that energy then can come out and advance correctly to the finishing of your movement. If you hardly have any energy there, nothing's going to come out very well. Plus, you're going to be almost double-footed, which is not going to be good. And don't forget to use your hips and waists, all right? Let's go. Parting of the wild horse's mane, both sides. Good Tai Chi posture, dropping the shoulders, making sure your head is erect, make sure your spine is straight, and growing. Root down, out, L, hold the ball, add, open the crotch, round it out, advance. Sit back, all the way down. Twist. Root down, T and ball. Don't do it the same old way. Try to do it what I'm calling. L, move that ball. Round out your crotch. Then part the wild horse's mane. Okay, every time we do it better. Sit back, sit down. Pivot. Root down, ball T. Get your bearing. L, round the crotch, get that energy stored up, then advance. Sit back, sit down, pivot, root down, T and ball. Round out and advance. Sit back, sit down, pivot, root down, T, ball, L, round out, over the hill, down. Sit back, sit down, pivot, root down, T and ball, L, round the crotch, over the hill, down. One set, very good. Best you can do, root down. Parallel higher, brush knee, root down, L, round the crotch, no different. Use your hips and waists. Sit back, pivot, root down, parallel T, L, round the crotch, a little bit more awkward, but it needs to be done. Use your hips and waists to turn, sit back, twist, root down, consolidate energy, L, round out the crotch, over the hill, down. Sit back, sit down, pivot, consolidate energy, L, round the crotch, turn the hips and waists, hands go for the ride. One good one. Hold your ball. Okay? Any questions on that? So we saw that, yes, we're still in that mode where we're taking the L, we're rounding our crotch, and then gathering that energy to then come down. But we saw that it was rather easy to do when we parted the wild horse's mane. But we saw that we felt a little awkward here, but it still occurs as you brush your knee. Yeah, did you agree? Can you agree? Do you agree with that? For some reason, maybe because it's using all your multitasking much more than when you parted the wild horse's mane. But don't give it up, okay? Get it better. Smooth it out. Try. Challenge yourself. We're going to grasp the bird's tail. Out on an L, round the crotch, ward off. Stop, pause, because I'm teaching. Turn the hips and waist, do not move your hands. Now position. Sit, back, sit, down, watch. Now contact. Turn at the hips and waist to the center of your body. Push out. Separate. Roll back on your heel. Sit down. Push up. Advance forward. Flatten foot. Sit back. Sit down. Pivot. Hold ball. T. L. Open or round the crotch. Ward off. Turn the hips and waist. Do not move your hands. Now reposition. Bring down the bird's tail. Look back. Use your hips and waist. Contact. Use your hips and waist. Center. Push. Separate. Roll back on. Ward off. Turn hips and waist, then reposition hands. Sit down, sit back, look back. Can you sink again, Ken? Contact. Turn at the hips and waist. Push from the center. Separate. Roll back onto your heel. Push up. Advance forward. Flatten. Okay, one last one without words. Incorporate what you learned. Hold your ball. Okay, so right there when we ended our movement and we held our ball, so we were right here when we held our ball, okay, I said pause, hold your ball. Don't forget now, you can drop and weight down. Drop those shoulders for more relaxation, for better Tai Chi. You don't keep it up, okay? Drop. All right. So you have to know when to drop, never to raise. And when we drop, it's okay because we're posting ourselves, gathering that energy. Don't forget that all movements on a T step L stance, you can bow or should bow so that you can come over the hill and the energy comes down. It's a lot of words, and I can't bow the legs. I think that would be the key word there, but you have to know what the ingredients in to make that how you bow your legs. Don't forget it. Don't just say it's too hard, she won't know the difference. You know, yeah, we won't know the difference, but you will know the difference if you do it correctly. And that's the name of the game, okay? Do it for yourself, not for anybody else. All right. In grasping of the bird's tail, I kind of had to refresh my, my stance. So, watch carefully. Okay. So what I'll call out certain things. So yes, I'm rooted down. Yes, I'm on an L. Yes, I'm bowing. Yes, I'm warding off. Yes, I'm using my hips and waists. Yes, I'm repositioning my hands. Yes, I'm definitely, hands go for the ride. I'm keeping my hands here, but I'm using my power of my hips and waists to get to where I want to be. How do I come back? Do I pull my hands back? I sit down, sit back. Up. The advancing foot does not flatten until we push out. Pause at the ball. Okay? I'm going to say no words, and I want you to observe what I'm doing. Okay? And right here, drop shoulders. Drop shoulders a little bit more because you're going into another movement. But you don't have to hold the ball and go like this to show that you understood me. Yeah? It's something internal. Just feel rested, ready for the next movement, storing that energy. Commencing form. On your toe, open. Hands rotate to the middle of your thighs as you take a deep breath in. At shoulder level, you're going to release the process and make yourself small. Your left hand is in the center, your right hand is up higher. You open both palms to the ceiling. You glance at the backhand as it brings it to the ear, turning your head and neck, and you're going to repulse the monkey, pulling back, pushing forward. You're going to do the other side, glance at the left hand. Bring it to the ear, turn your neck, and repulse the monkey. Push him away. You're going to go on a T stance, and you're going to brush your knee. all together, ear, heel, hand, turn the hips and waist, brush your knee. Sit back, sit down, pivot, parallel higher on a T stance, out and to the side, multitask to brush your knee. Sit back, sit down, pivot. You're going to hold your Tai Chi ball on a T stance. You're going to take an L stance and you're going to part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, sit down, pivot, hold your Tai Chi ball to take care of the other side, out on an L stance, part the wild horse's mane. We're going to be floating clouds. Flip the hand in the front, join it with the back. Sit down, sit back, pivot, 12 o'clock. Pivot out to the 9 o'clock, flip the hands, close the feet. Middle or cup, 3 o'clock, flip the hands, open the feet, 12 o'clock, middle cup. 9 o'clock, only flip the hands. Use your hips and waist, 12 o'clock. Use your hips and waist to 3 o'clock, flip the hands, close the feet. 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, only flip the hands. Shift your weight to the left and we're a golden cockerel. Shift your weight to the right, golden cockerel. Shift weight, 50-50, cross, right hand on the outside, right foot coming out, kick out in line. Down, left hand, left foot up, kick out. Hold your ball on a T stance. We're going to ward off. Out on an L, push your opponent away. Turn the hips and waist and grasp the bird's tail. Pull down, pull back, look back. Contact. Turn at the hips and waist, push out from the center of your body. Separate your hands and roll back. Sit down. And up and out. Sit back, sit down, pivot. Left hand on the bottom, right hand on the top to hold your ball. Out on an L. Ward off. Turn the hips and waist to grasp the bird's tail. Look back. Contact. Turn at the hips and waist. Push out. Separate the hands and roll back. Sit down. Push up. Push forward. Closing forms. Twist. Open. In. Embrace the tiger. Bring him up. Bring him closer to you. Final push out. Separate your hands. Bring that energy back to you as you close your form. Lift up your left off the ground. Closing form.